Hi guys, and welcome to another video, and welcome to the first episode of my training tour. So this year I am bringing you a brand new series of videos where basically I go around the country and train with some top riders and coaches. Super excited about this. It's been in the planning for literally months now. This wasn't meant to be episode 2, but I think it's actually going out first, so this will be the first episode of my training tour. And at the start of every video I'm going to give you some clues as to who I'm going to train with, but I'm not going to tell you who they are until we get to their yard. So I'm going to give you a little opportunity to guess who it is that we're going training with today. So I'm unloading the box at the minute because I went to do a bit of a feed shop for the horses this morning. And that's quite fitting because today's video is actually sponsored by Dengie Feeds, because the person that I'm going to train with is also sponsored by Dengie. So they are a Dengie sponsored rider. They are also an Albion sponsored rider. And for those of you that have seen my designing my own saddle factory tour with Albion, they were actually there that day, so you might already know who they are. So the person we're training with today is a top dressage rider. She is an international dressage rider. She actively competes now at Grand Prix level. What else can I tell you about? That's probably enough clues for now. But yeah, I'm really excited about this tour. We're actually not heading too far away today. It's about half an hour from me, where she's based. So that's very exciting. We're going to be having a lesson with her today. Some of the other riders and coaches that I'm training with are a little bit further afield. That's kind of why I've called this my training tour, because I am literally going to be touring the country. It's mainly going to be with Percy, but Snip is going to be involved in a few of the videos too. So hopefully you really enjoy this new series. I'm very excited and nervous to film with it, because when you're like going out and training with, you know, like Olympians and 5-star riders, it's kind of nerve-wracking. But anyway, let's get on with unpacking the box and then repacking it, ready for today's training. So the first thing I need to do is actually make Percy up a feed for before he's ridden. So Percy is a little bit annoying. He doesn't always eat when he goes in the box. So again, the same as what I do when I ride him at home, I always give him a couple of handfuls of chop before he's ridden, just so it lines his stomach, just to protect from ulcers, and also it's just a really good idea because basically, why do I never have any scissors that are like not broken and actually work? So basically it lines the stomach and stops when you're cantering around and things like that, it stops the acidic stomach acid from hitting the non-acidic side and causing ulcers. So yeah, we're going to pop a couple of handfuls of that in here. He's already got a little bit of mash in there just to encourage him to eat it and to increase the water content. So I just grabbed quite a generous handful of Percy's Ulcer Light, which is his normal daily chaff. And then I mix this in with the Alpha Beet. Now Alpha Beet needs to be fed already soaked, and then I actually add even more water just so that I'm boosting those hydration levels before he's ridden. And then I pop this on the box and I feed it about 20 minutes to half an hour before we actually ride. So today's lesson is actually with Hannah Esberger Hancock. So she is an international dressage rider, and despite the fact that she's so local to me, I've never actually had a lesson. She's never seen Percy before, so this will be really interesting to see what she thinks to him and how we can improve. Well, we'll see. He's either really lazy to train dressage or quite sharp. It goes one or two ways, and he can do the same. He can be like that in 5 minutes. To compete, goes in, most relaxed he's ever been, and gets on with it, and he's like listening to me constantly. To train, not always.
Well, just you work him in just so I can have a little look, a bit of like, you know, you walk, trot, canter both reins.
Oh, that handsome pony. Good boy. Yeah, I know, Liam's scary. Good lad.
Okay, and then just change your rein.
Good boy. boy, listening. Good boy. Liam's not going to eat you.
Okay, so I think the first thing is like you need to think about your rhythm.
Yeah.
So like in your trot rhythm, would you normally ride him that fast?
To warm up, yes.
Right, okay.
I kind of, normally to warm up, I go in on a longer rein. I'd normally be longer than this at home and I start trying to get him to stretch. Mm-hmm. When I'm away from home, he won't. So.
Okay, so So what I'm seeing here, he isn't on your A's and in front of your leg.
Yeah.
So therefore, I think you ride him quite fast.
Yeah.
Because he's not in front of your leg.
Right.
So I think that's fine. It's okay to start with a motivating attitude to get him in front. And he's a bit older, he's 14. You know, yes, you might come out. He's never probably going to come out and be beautifully soft and on the bit at the moment.
Yeah.
So you have to have a bit of a strategy of like how you're going to get there. Mm-hmm. So that's fine getting him in front of, but I would do it more in the canter.
Yeah.
So if he's lazy, we'll work a bit more in the canter to start with, rather than trot. I'd be careful that you're not racing him constantly in the trot, just racing around because he's just running.
Yeah.
And again, if you think about your rhythm, he's so fast, he can't be supple.
Yeah.
He can't work through his body because he's just running too fast. Okay. So because anything that's a little bit lazy, definitely working a bit more in the canter first, and then coming back to your trot. So we're going to go and work a bit more in your canter first. Mm-hmm. But also, your canter for me is also too fast.
Okay.
It's you know, because again it's too flat.
Yeah.
And we need to get him in a better rhythm. Okay, so we can get him softer.
Yeah.
So let's take him on a circle. We're going to start with your canter because, like I say, I think sometimes it's easier with especially the older horses, especially if they're a bit stiff and behind the leg, working. And you've said the canter's easier.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you think, well, actually then we need to start a little bit more with the canter first, yeah? Okay, so let's just bring him on a circle in the middle. So like here, just think, like sit yourself back and just think about that slightly slower canter. That's it, a little bit slower. So, and thinking all the time that your outside rein is rounding him and dropping his neck, yeah? The inside rein is only feeling for a little bit flexion and direction.
Okay.
And then let's make this circle a bit smaller. So like literally bring it in to like a sort of 3/4 line to 3/4 line. Watch your left rein doesn't get longer than your right. Because a little bit on both reins, he's a bit plank-like without being rude. Like he wants to just sort of like come round like this rather than stay up and bend around your inside leg. Yeah. So you're just going to simply start by riding a 3/4 line and you're going to leg yield him out a little bit. So go a little bit onto that 3/4 line. That's it. And just be a little bit quicker moving your fingers. Now, if you look at his neck in front of you, right, think about his neck remaining in front of your body. Okay. Be careful you don't overbend his neck. So his neck has to drop down and round it. That's a bit better. In front of your body. Yeah. Get onto your 3/4 line, so you're turning in. Which rein do you turn in from?
I'm really right dominant. So
But as a rule, would you turn a horse from the inside rein or the outside rein?
Inside rein.
Cut that. That's a no. No.
Yeah, I said outside. So okay, I'm editing this.
Yeah. Don't tell. Yeah, you can redo that. Yeah, right, and that's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
Right, so this is a big thing for you. You've got to. So if you think about a Western rider, if they put their reins in one hand, I'm not saying I want you to be a Western rider, but you can explain. If you put your reins in one hand and you want to go that way, you pull the outside rein, don't you? Like into the neck to turn. So it's outside rein pressure that helps control the outside shoulder and turn. I'm not telling you to bring your hand across. But you're not turning him from your inside rein. Your inside rein is there for flexion and direction. but it's not pulling him round. But I can see when you are too on your inside rein all the time.
Right, okay.
So your outside rein has got to be so much more dominant. It controls the shoulder, it controls the speed, it makes him rounder. It's your connecting rein, it's everything. It's like your gear stick. You've got to get him more on the outside rein and feel you're turning him onto this smaller circle. And also, if he's not listening, a bit with your outside leg on the girth a bit, not back because that's bumming, but on the girth a little bit. So let's pick your reins up. Let's do a walk to canter and really think about how you are turning. I mean, if you really think about it, you will probably think, actually, I don't turn from my inside rein. You know, he blocks you on the inside rein.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, so he stiffens on the inside rein. So I get you sort of want to pull, like even here, look, he wants to be like this all the time.
Yeah.
And when he's blocking you, bring your inside hand a little bit more into his withers and up.
Okay.
That's enough, and then let go. So when you've got to get more reaction. So just stop a minute. So when he blocks you here, so what you've got to think about is that he stays straighter in the neck so he can bring his back up.
Yeah.
It's no good bending his neck like that because he's not straight.
Yeah.
So you've got to have a lot more feel down your outside rein. But when he blocks you here, because he blocks in the jowl here, good boy, I know you don't like people. Bring your hand a tiny bit there, and soften through your wrist. So you bring the bit more up into the corner of his mouth, whereas you want to pull there.
Yeah, I want to I go to my bike handles.
Yeah.
Rather than
Yeah, and you've got to keep it more supple there. So just to yield him here. We don't want neck bend, but we need flexion in his jowl for submission. Yeah. Otherwise, what's happening? You just hang on that inside rein because he's just blocking you. The bend has got to come through in the body through your leg. Yeah. Okay, not because you're hanging on the inside rein.
Yeah, keep my hands parallel.
And yes, I mean, you know that, but obviously sometimes it's difficult when they're blocking. Then you're like doing that. Yeah. And you've got to think about getting him more round that inside leg. So let's walk and canter again. And we're going to think a little bit about this sort of where this is in your outside rein. And then think about turning him more from your outside rein into the withers. And then you're blocking on the left again. Lift it up because he's blocking. Get your inside leg on. Think about that. You don't need to go faster. Turn, get a bit smaller circle. So then take your legs off and kick him when he does that. So don't do that. That's it. And then keep your legs stiller again. That's it, and then move the fingers a little bit, so quicker with your fingers, quicker. So you've got to be quicker. If I look at your fingers, you look like you're holding a teacup, right? You've got to move them. Like you're like a bit like this, look, really pretty and delicate, like you are holding a cup of tea or a champagne glass or whatever. You've got to get your fingers round those and mould him a little bit. Yeah. You know, because he's not going to do this for free. He doesn't want to. He's not bothered, right? And then canter left again.
He'd soon and be jumping, wouldn't he?
Of course he would. That's better. Now soften, relax, and then feel. Got to be so much quicker and smaller. So see if you can get like a little bit like more a 10-metre circle and still at half on the outside. Good. Yeah, good. Now leg yield out. So put your left leg back a bit and push him out. Push him out. Push him out. Push him away from that left leg. Yes, better. Yeah, that's better bending. And then back in again. Take your legs off and give him a kick. He's so lazy. Absolutely. And then come back in again. Yeah, well done. So move your fingers again, move your fingers, and then leg yielding back out and bring your left hand a bit more into his withers and get him to bend, yes, and soften and rounding your right rein. So move your outside rein a bit. So you're working on both reins, but for different reasons. You know, they're doing different jobs. That's better. Now push him out onto a larger circle again. Push him away, lift your left hand up a bit, go on. Take your legs off, give him a little kick, yeah. There, yeah, go on, push him out, a bigger circle, make him look to the left a little bit. Bit rounder in your right rein. Good, and then trot. Good boy. Now relax your leg, don't kick him because he wants you to kick him. Just relax. Do you ever carry a whip with him?
No, he normally gets 2/10.
Right, okay. No, it's fine, let's carry on, it's fine. Sometimes a little jumping whip on the shoulder would help. Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, I don't know if a jumping whip would make him tense, would it?
No, I can hold that on.
You can have
one in the box.
That's right. Oh, well, you could have Delilah's orange one.
That's fine.
You can have Delilah's orange jumping whip. Because he makes you work too hard constantly with your leg. Like, I'm sure when you're jumping, okay, he gives you natural energy.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. And we need a bit more of that. And this is why you ride him so fast.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly chasing him. And unfortunately, you've got to be a bit more disciplined not to keep working so hard. if he stops, then you sort that, you take your leg off and you say, I'd give him a kick.
Yeah.
All right, but then you've got to learn, because he's just getting so used to your leg. So just walk him. So what
turning off to it, but then I get tired and then it's like he wins.
Yeah, because your leg is constantly like, it's like that, right? So I just get numb to that. If I take my hand off and do that, I can feel it.
Yeah.
So you are constantly doing that. So he's just getting habitualised to your leg. He's just switching off to your leg.
Okay.
So you've got to be a bit more, you've got a nice position, you sit well, but you've got to be effective as well, and actually be a little bit cross that he's actually making you work a little bit harder.
Yeah, I'm too soft with him.
Yeah. At the moment, like you say, you like to come out in the beginning, try and make him stretch. That's impossible.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it because he's too tight.
Yeah.
So what you've got to do is bring him in and work him in a good rhythm and balance first. Stretch him at the end. He might be more ready to do it then. But he's certainly not one of those horses to come out and just stretch. All you would do is pull his neck in.
Yeah.
And we want him to have that rounder, longer neck frame. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Because he's got quite a high head carry.
Yeah, but that's better. And you've got to keep working a little bit quicker with your fingers. This is better. Yes. So he takes a longer, rounder neck. There. Good boy. You've got to, and this is where you have to constantly be working. You know, he doesn't really know that it's better for him to work. You have to teach him.
Yeah.
And some days he's not going to want to do it, and he's going to. But so you have to keep pushing him to do that. Just shorten your right rein again. So don't ride any quicker. It's fine. I think you get a bit panicked.
Yeah.
Like here, you're like, oh, he's just don't worry. Just work a little bit on that sort of getting that round. You don't need to go any quicker. Just work on feeling him a little bit softer. And then what I want you to do on the long side here is you're going to leg yield him a little bit away from the track, all right? So all you're going to do is you're going to bend him a little bit to the left and then move him a little bit to the inner track off your left leg. That's it, so open your right hand a bit without going quicker, Keep going, keep moving a bit away from your left leg. Go towards the centre line. Yeah, that's it, very good. And then go straight, yeah, better. And then do that again. So what this is making you do is getting him coming off that outside shoulder, making him rounder in the left rein and making him a bit more supple through the back by using your leg yield. Yeah, and straight, well done. Soften those upper arms a little bit. Watch your reins don't get long, because he's a bit clever. He sort of makes you get longer reins. And then again, move him off, yeah, rounder in the neck, push him away from your left leg again, right there, yeah, better, yeah, it's okay, relax. That's it. It's better with your leg. And remember, if he gets a bit lazy, take your legs off and give him a prod rather than grip him with him. This is better. And then again, just move him. That's okay. Move him away from your leg again. Good. Super. No faster. No faster. That's it. Soften those elbows. Work your fingers. Drop him on the outside rein. So remember, your outside rein is the rein that gets him rounder. It softens him. Yes, that's better. That's better. Very good. There, that's where you want him. That's it, there. Yeah, now ride a circle, but in your head, think about how you leg yielded him.
Yeah.
So like, think about keeping that feeling on the left rein like you were leg yielding him. So what you did with that outside rein, yes, that's it, yes. And your inside rein is just feeling a little bit for flexion. So again, you know, if you need to bring it up for the flexion, that's fine. Keep on your outside rein. Good boy, it's okay. So again, we've lost the left shoulder there, look. Yeah, so again, keep control of that left shoulder, like as if you were leg yielding. Yes, yes. That's where you want the neck. That's where you want it. We're creating a bit more energy within that speed, isn't it? And then open your right hand and make him go a little bit more round in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well done. That's it, good. And no quicker. There, that's it. I want him, you know that moment where he feels like he's reaching? I know you don't want him heavy. If he gets too pulling down, then that's no good.
He feels actually quite light now.
Yeah, so he's got to be into it with a long neck, but not leaning on you.
Yeah.
That's the, he's got to learn at the moment just to arch his neck. That's good. You don't need him any lower than that. Because the problem with him, if you try and put the neck too low, he's just on the forehand and leaning. So it's all about having the horse in a good rhythm and balance place where they can be in the best rhythm and the best balance. That's good now. Good.
He feels lovely now.
Yeah. And then leg yielding him over. So bring your left hand in a bit. So see how you bring it out, bring it in. And open your right hand and feel on it.
So Percy definitely came out today pretty tense and ready and raring, but also very lazy. But within just 20 minutes, Hannah got me working really nicely. He was listening to me. He'd really suppled up by this point, as you can see from the smile on my face. It was a fantastic lesson, and actually I didn't realise how much I ride quite forward on Percy, and I think because he can be quite lazy to train at home and then he's such a different ride out. But all of these little tools that Hannah's given me means that I can get him supple easier, he's listening, he's engaging himself, and he's actually relaxing over his back, which is giving us a correct contact instead of the false one that he likes to give me every now and again. I was really pleased with him at this point. He'd come really light in the hand and he just felt like he was self-carrying, which is always a lovely feeling, especially when you've got a horse like Percy who is a little bit stronger in hand and can be a little bit heavy in front.
Half halt left and push your right hind over. Go on. Almost think you sort of stop in the front end and pushing the hind leg. Yes. Okay. That's a little bit better. Yeah. It's a little bit too much neck bend, but you've got to feel that that right hind like pushes through a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, just do it in trot. So keep your left hand down a bit and half halt on it, and now make that right hind work a little bit more. Yeah, okay. All right, so it's a bit better.
Yeah.
But what you want to feel is like it's a bit more sweeping under his body. He wants to keep it in, you know?
Yeah.
Good boy.
Come on.
So slow down, slow down. Ooh, we're off again. Yeah, half halt left, push with your right leg. Go on, push again, push again. Yes, okay, pat him. Well done. Now feel that right rein. Elbows in, just go straight now. Drop the neck in the right hand and pat him on the left. Good boy, super. And you didn't need to chase him.
No.
You've got to think about that rhythm and balance and creating much better suppleness and more even connection. Like at the moment, he's a bit too unequal in the contact, so he's got a bit too much weight in the left and nothing in the right. And then when you start to use your legs and mold and move them around a little bit, slow it all down, then you start to get some really much nicer trot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's like just running and not really, he's not got time to lift his shoulders
He
up.
like drags himself with the front end.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
But
He wasn't there when you slowed it down. He started to just come off his shoulder a bit. I would definitely do a lot of this leg yielding, but on the long side, because what's really good about doing it on the long side is it makes you very aware like of where the shoulders are. Mm-hmm. So you've got to keep the front legs on the track basically. Yeah. When you're trying to push him off that right leg, he goes, well, I'll just sit more on that left shoulder and bend the neck more. But you should be able to get some nice scores with him, I think.
I've only done 3 dressage tests with him. I've not had him that long, and he's been in the 70s on all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so like, but he slows down as well when he's actually doing it, and like, I can't describe. I can breathe, and he'll be like, "Right, what am I doing?" He's constantly listening to me. As soon as I hit those whiteboards, he's just like underneath me and like on the spot and like ready to do whatever I ask of him. Whereas when I'm training, I feel like he's not even here. He's like over there, head in the clouds, and he's a completely different horse on a show day. Completely different. I took him in the warm-up, and normally he's terrible with loads of other horses in like an open space. Took him to the warm-up at Epworth last week. It's the most chill I've ever known him. He was like, "Oh, I'm eventing, I'm in my zone." He was just listening to me.
Did they run the event at Epworth?
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they it was the unaffiliated one. So the first one got cancelled.
Oh, right, yeah.
The first B got cancelled, and then they changed dates, and I ran him unaffiliated.
Was the ground all right?
It was really good actually. It's sand.
Oh yeah.
It's sand and it's up to the top there. So he's going cross country there tomorrow. Because I pulled him out of the cross country because he's not very fit at the minute. Like he's not got a huge amount of fitness. So we only went for our first ever run.
Okay. Yeah. So does that all sort of make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. I think I really, really need to learn to ride in a slower pace.
Yeah.
Because actually, when you slow down, you realise everything that you're not doing. Like when we're just like bulldozing about, you don't have time to think about it all, do you? And I think
Yeah, I think you've, and again, like, just got to get it very clear in your head. Like, I think it's always very important to have a plan and a bit of structure.
Yeah.
And it's impossible. Like when you said, I like to come out and let him have a longer rein and let him. I think it's good maybe to, I'm not saying don't come out, maybe get off his back, let him canter, let him slightly loosen up. But then he's got to come, and it's no good trying to give him a long rein, because when he first comes out, he's too tight. He's older anyway. He's too tight and stiff. He can't work down, you know, and you know, he's got to learn to stretch on connection in balance, not stretch and be like really on the forehand, because that's also not beneficial. You know, that it's just about working him in a good balance so he's not completely on his forehand all the time, because sometimes with him his neck's up but his shoulders are still down. Okay,
he's very good at that.
So we need and you can just see a little bit through his muscle. He's got to start lifting a little bit more up through his back. Loads more cavaletti type work, pole work with him, real stuff like that will be really helpful for him as well. Just to get him lifting up through the back.
I've been using some belly bands on him as well.
The belly bands are good, round the back, under the belly. That's all really good as well. You can ride in them as well, actually.
I've got the ones that just clip onto the saddle pad. But yeah, I think I struggle with flat work, like having a plan when I go into it. Like, and that's in my jumping, you know, I can set my poles out, I can do a grid, whereas unless I have a dressage lesson, I literally get in the arena, I'm like, oh.
And I know, and I think it's trying to develop a bit more of understanding of actually what you're wanting to achieve and the feel, isn't it? And I think, like I said to you, if you can, you've got to start asking yourself more questions when you're riding. So you got to ask yourself, right, how's my rhythm feel? Do I feel like I'm going too fast? How's my suppleness? What weight have I got in my hand? On a 0 to 10 scale, what's in my left? What's in my right? Well, we don't want a 2. Okay, because he's just really, then he's not really into the contact. We don't want an 8 or a 9. What am I going to do about that? He feels really on the left shoulder. What can I do about that? I've got to yield it. Do you see what I mean? You've got to start asking. I think you're riding round, but you're not really, you know, you sit well. It's a nice enough picture, but you're not engaging in.
He's not actually doing it.
You're not getting. No, some of the work there was lovely.
So that brings me to the end of the lesson, and a massive thank you to Hannah for teaching me today. Really insightful lesson, definitely learnt a lot and could really see the improvement in Percy. A lot to take home and work on. Also, a massive thank you to Dengie for sponsoring this video and organising everything with Hannah. I really appreciated that. So that's it for today, guys, but I will see you next week for another video. Bye!